You worked hard to pay off a debt. Maybe it took months, maybe it took years. You made the sacrifices, you stayed consistent, and you finally got to zero. And then you checked your credit score, and it went down. That moment is one of the most confusing and frustrating experiences in personal finance. You did everything right. You did what every financial article, every piece of advice, every common sense instinct tells you to do, and your credit score punished you for it. So what is actually going on here? The answer requires understanding something fundamental about how credit scores work, and it's something the system does a poor job of explaining to the people living inside it. Credit scores are not a measure of how financially responsible you are. They are a measure of how predictable you are as a borrower. Those two things are related, but they are not the same thing. And that distinction is at the heart of why paying off debt can sometimes lower your score. Let's break down the specific reasons this happens. The first and most common reason is credit mix. Your credit score rewards you for having different types of credit. Credit cards, installment loans, mortgages, auto loans. The logic behind this is that managing different kinds of debt shows lenders you can handle various financial obligations. When you pay off an installment loan, a car loan, a student loan, a personal loan, and that account closes, you may lose a type of credit from your profile. If that was your only installment loan, your credit mix just became less diverse, and your score can drop as a result. The second reason is account closure and credit history. When you pay off and close a loan, that account eventually stops contributing to your active credit profile. Similar to closing a credit card, losing an account affects the average age of your credit history. If the account you paid off was one of your older ones, the impact on your score can be more noticeable. The third reason is one that surprises people the most, and it has to do with credit utilization in reverse. Most people associate utilization with credit cards, but some scoring models also factor in how much of an installment loan you've paid off relative to the original balance. When a loan is active and you've been making payments, the decreasing balance actually looks positive. It shows responsible repayment behavior over time. When the loan closes completely, that positive active account disappears. The ongoing proof that you were managing the debt reliably is no longer there. Now, here's the important context around all of this. The drop in your score after paying off debt is usually modest and often temporary. It is not the same kind of damage as a missed payment or a collections account. In most cases, your score will stabilize, and in many cases, it will recover and improve over time as your overall credit profile continues to develop. The frustrating part is the timing. You just accomplished something real. You eliminated a debt. Your financial life is genuinely better, and the score doesn't immediately reflect that. In fact, it briefly moves in the wrong direction. That disconnect between financial reality and credit score reality is real, and it's okay to be frustrated by it. So what should you actually do with this information? If you're planning to pay off a debt in the near future and you have a major credit application coming up, a mortgage, a car loan, a significant credit decision, it's worth being aware that your score may dip temporarily right after the payoff. You may want to time things accordingly if you have that flexibility. If the drop has already happened, the move is to stay consistent with everything else. Keep your credit card balances low. Keep making on-time payments on any remaining accounts. Avoid opening or closing other accounts unnecessarily. Give your score the stability it needs to find its footing again. And remind yourself of what actually happened here. You paid off a debt, your net worth improved, your monthly obligations decreased, your financial stress went down. A temporary dip in a 3-digit number does not change any of that. The score will catch up. It just needs a little time.